Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, is my emotional support host, Mr. Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I am doing well, buddy. Glad to be here. Glad to see you, and ready to rock this week, man.
Yeah, you're welcome that I put host instead of fuckbot. I almost...
I would take it either one.
Yeah, it's true.
Just for the record.
Yeah. Hey, man. Dry spells in the winter. I get it, man. Whatever you got going on. You just take it where you can get it. Well, good to see you, man. I've had an insanely busy week and then also caught some stuff in our off week there that we didn't cover. Listen, I just want to put it out there to everybody that we didn't fail you last week. The general public, you all out there, failed us by not having presents be big enough for us to make an episode out of.
True. Very true.
That's pretty much where it is. Like, we probably could have filled it in with some other stuff and maybe got an episode, but it was like, no, it's not worth it. Poor, Mr. Soderbergh has two movies because Black Bag is coming out, in March?
March, yeah.
Early March, I guess. But we'll see, man. Like, this is not a great start for him financially, because I thought, horror always prints money. And we will talk horror today. We got a couple of ones, including Presents, to talk about. But, man, did you see, I think we didn't do the pod because Presents made $3 million.
Correct.
And it is up to 6.5.
Yeah, I checked it this
and
morning.
That's
not good.
Worldwide. So I don't know how many markets they opened worldwide, but outside of the U.S., but not great, Bob. But we'll talk about whether the movie's good, because that is the most important thing. It's not our money, right, Shane? So
correct.
But yeah, man, we are going to talk about Companion, which was not the number one movie at the box office. I thought this movie was going to do a lot better financially, but it was eclipsed by the movie that I also saw over the weekend, Dogman, which, those audiences overlap, so I get it.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Lots of crossover.
I mean, what is more horror than a man and a dog getting their bodies attached to each other to fight crime? It sounds like, it sounds like a horror movie. But yeah, Dogman was number one. I did catch that with my kids, but yeah, we don't need to talk about that. But like I said, Companion. We'll talk about Presents, as we noted, with Steven Soderbergh, written by David Koepp. That was something that we were definitely looking forward to. Both of these we were looking forward to. I did Sundance at home, where I watched 6 movies in a span of a couple days, just from Sundance, let alone, I think from Thursday through Sunday, I caught 10 movies? 9 movies?
Maniac.
Something like that. It was a crazy, crazy weekend. So we can go over the weekend that was in that respect too, because I also saw The Brutalist, and I saw September 5 way back. So there's a bunch of stuff. We got some streaming things we could talk about, but let's start up top, man. Let's get the horror stuff out the way for the people, because this is that kind of month. I sent you that promo thing for what we're going to do. 3 out of the 4 weeks of February, we're going to cover horror. We've been talking about how loaded up this all is, and it's kicking off right now with Companion this past weekend. It was Presents the weekend before. Then we got Heart Eyes, the worst titled movie, though, getting I think some good buzz.
It is getting some good buzz.
So I want to see what the early scores look like. But yeah, Heart Eyes. Then it skips a week to get us Captain America, and then The Monkey, which I am so looking forward to. I am so jazzed to see The Monkey. So yeah, that's going to be a fun time. And I'm probably forgetting stuff that's probably right behind it. But usually this is the horror corridor, and we are going to cover it now. Companion only did, I believe,
9.5.
Yeah,
right.
Not domestically, yes.
Yeah.
And then another 5.3 internationally for a 14.8 weekend total. I could have pegged this, especially in such a weak time. I would have thought this would have done so much better financially. The good news is that the scores, even before we talk about it, were encouraging. 7.4 IMDb, 75 Metascore, 3.6 Letterboxd. So a lot of good scores across the board. This is written and directed by Drew Hancock. This is his directorial debut. The movie stars Sophie Thatcher, Jack Quaid, Rupert Friend, Megan Surrey, and Lucas Gage. And this is produced by Zach Kreger, amongst others. Were you confused by this, or am I just a dumb person? Because all the marketing said that this is brought to you by the weirdos who brought you Barbarian. And I remember at one point this was supposed to be Zach Kreger's movie. And then
that's what I thought too.
And I thought that up until like today. And I saw that.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was doing the research stuff, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't Zach Kreger, who I love, who we saw Barbarian. He was in Whitest Kids You Know. That guy, I love that guy. And I can't wait for his next one. But apparently it's not until 2026, a movie called Weapons that is on the docket. And then he's supposed to be lining up for a Resident Evil movie. I'm like, why? No.
No.
You're supposed to be like the new kind of Jordan Peele-ish guy, like an horror auteur. Let's do this. Don't go into the franchise hell. Please don't. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, Weapons comes out and they're like, I got better things to do. But we'll see. So Companion is about a billionaire's death that sets off a chain of events for Iris and her friends during a weekend trip to his lakeside estate. I am confused here, Shane. And I want to get into the movie because I think the movie is really good. So I just want to put that out there. The marketing team needs to be kicked in the face. And I don't know. So I got that description from IMDb. And I think the same one exists on Letterboxd. And it's being coy. It's being coy with what Iris is, what the real plot is, all this stuff. Meanwhile, this is the same movie that I complained about 2 weeks ago on the pod and have to anyone who will listen. But they ruined this movie for me by putting out the second trailer, which tells you everything about what Iris is and gives up the ghost. Are you as confused by this whole thing too, and are you as mad as I am?
Yes, the marketing does mislead you, and I was just upset as you were when they dropped the second trailer. I'm like, great, you just ruined the whole freaking movie for me. Like, I would have liked to see the twist come up, even though it comes up fairly early in the movie. It's still
but how cool would it have been to get that with fresh eyes?
Right, it would have been nice. So yeah, I think the marketing, as you put it, quote unquote, needs a kick in the teeth.
Yeah,
for this one, and so.
And here's the thing: it didn't help the box office, or did it?
No.
Like, was it tracking that badly that they were like, we need to put more out there?
Yeah, because I was gonna take my girlfriend to see this, and when we saw the trailer, I looked at her. It's like it's setting up to be like a horror-ish movie, and she's like, "Yeah," I can see the look on her face. I'm like, she's not gonna. But when we got done, I'm like, it's not really a horror movie. It's like
it's almost like a sci-fi thriller with like horror-ish elements.
Yeah. I said it's not what you think it was. Here's what it is, and she goes, "Oh, okay." So I think they could have set this movie up a little better in its presentation of what it actually is.
Sure. Yeah, it's such an interesting thing because for everybody, I guess let's start here, Shane. I want to know your thoughts on the actual movie because, this conversation does dovetail together. Because as I noted, I would have loved to know what the reveal, the twist was. And when you're watching the movie does give it to you like, Like it's giving you a Hitchcockian twist, So, but the fact that it said it in the trailer just makes me so mad because I think I cannot believe that the writer director here, Drew Hancock, wanted that second trailer to be that way. Because why would you make the movie to be a revealing element and then have that trailer?
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. And knowing it going into it, the first scene when she's walking through the grocery store, I'm like, oh, yeah. Because, Sophia, we'll get into it, but she was great. And, she walks like a damn AI. So I'm like, oh, there it is. Like you pick up on stuff that I would have liked to have been surprised about. Like, all right.
How much do you and I want to give up the ghost here? Because there are other twists.
Yes, there are.
So I don't want to give up too much, but I do want to say, much like you said, the casting is probably some of the best stuff here because Sophie Thatcher has that face and that eyes and that kind of like, alabaster skin that like makes her almost look kind of robotic.
Yeah.
So she can sell it in a very good way. It's the same way, like I'm sure you saw the Megan 2 teaser.
I sure did.
I'm like, we're keeping with the same person, even though that person has now gotten older. So it's kind of funny that we're just kind of doing the actual 2.0 in a different way too. We're actually watching it mature. But, it's that same kind of thing. It's like certain people look that way where you can really dress it up nicely to make it seem realistic. But when they made her eyes go foggy, like behind her head, like all those things, like it was really well done of any of those things. And again, that's why I was particularly still mad that this was something that I wish could have been revealed to me within the movie. I think, and especially, I love that first trailer where she's on fire, she's handcuffed, and you're like, oh, cool, this will be fun. And then people would have been like shocked to be like, oh, that's why she could do that. That's funny.
Right.
And maybe we're just dumb that I just watched that and I'm like, how could she sustain that much heat? But, I wanted answers from the movie. That's what a trailer is supposed to do. But yeah, so I really like this movie. I want to hear your thoughts on this because, I just don't want to try to like spoiler it unless we give some kind of thing. But I will say, Sophie Thatcher, Jack Quaid, and especially Lucas Gage, I liked quite a bit. And there's a lot of those elements, and again, that get very spoilery, so I'm going to hold back on that. But you tell me, because I thought this was a solid movie. And, it's early. We're first week of February, but this is my favorite movie of the year so far.
Yeah, it's a great. I really had a good time with this movie from start to finish, anchored by Sophia Thatcher and the way she plays Iris. Like, and I like Jack Quaid, and he's a person you think you're rooting for at the beginning of the movie, and you still kind of root for him because and then he just like it ends up being about like just really his psyche and just a look into like how he is as a man and a human being. And I just like that play with Iris and where she fits in now with this society, I guess, that she's kind of learning about herself and how the group sees her. And like you said, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag because there's a scene with one of the characters, Kat, who her and Iris are having a conversation. So I thought it was going to lead you one way, and then it didn't. And then you get another surprise by Jake Gage. I'm sorry, Lucas Gage as Patrick later on. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's twisty enough. I love the characters, man. Like, but it's like you said at the top of this, like I really thought this was made by the same people who did Barbarian. So I'm like trying to compare the two films. I'm like, which one do I like better? I ended up like I were to rewatch this one more.
Correct.
It was funny. It was twisty. Like the scene where she speaks German to the cop. I was dying, man. I was laughing. It was so awesome.
Yeah. And then Lucas Gage finishing that scene off. So like, there's a lot to love in that scene altogether. But and that's late in the movie too.
It's late in the movie, and I just had a really good time with this movie, man. It like keeps getting like bloodier throughout. Like it starts off like one, and then it kind of slides into that darker element. But the chemistry between Thatcher and Quaid, man, just nail it. And Thatcher's like quite the little scream queen right now.
Yeah, between that and Heretic,
Heretic, and then she's in Yellow Jackets, and she was in Maxine for a scene. Yeah. So like she's kind of like coming up. But I really, really enjoyed this movie, and I'm like you. Movies in January, we call it Dumpuary, and maybe it didn't make like the movies didn't make Montero, the money that it wanted to make. But overall, I think the quality of films I've seen in January have probably been the best in years. To be honest with you, and this kind of capped it off. Like this was a very solid, enjoyable movie. I would highly recommend it. I had a good time with this movie.
Yeah, same here, man. And I agree with your sentiment. I mean, because we already. For a small movie, like I really like The Damned. This movie's really good. We'll get to Presence soon enough. And, there's just a few movies that have already impressed, and we're just getting into February. So that's a great sign. This movie in particular, like I said, I mentioned it before, it's got like a Hitchcockian element, especially if you get to go in cold. Like, it's got multiple twists, even if you saw the second trailer. And it's pretty incredible what they're able to pull off. A small cast, on a, like they say, a kind of a very remote lakeside estate. So you really get to dive in between the chase on the property and the actual crimes being committed. It's very well done. And like you said, the chemistry between Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid's really great. The chemistry between Lucas Gage and...
Are you talking about Eli?
Yeah, Eli, Harvey Guillen, yeah. Who, he looks very familiar, but like, I guess maybe I only saw him in Blue Beetle?
Yeah, that's the only time yep.
I'm trying to think if he did any other TV or anything, but yeah, he looked very familiar, and he was great. So between him and Lucas Gage, I actually like that relationship almost better. It was like at least more fun. This movie is, again, a lot more fun than maybe you would think from at least the first trailer. The second trailer kind of, pitches you towards that. But I love the back and forth here. I love the behind the curtain stuff, how they set up Iris and everything else, like the delivery, the Goo Goo Dolls song.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, so did you catch all the fun kind of stuff so Iris, is Siri backwards. So that's kind of fun to be like, oh, that's what we're dealing with here a little bit. So there's that kind of fun. And then the Goo Goo Dolls Iris is in a song that Jack Quaid's mom is in, so that's kind of fun. Yeah. Where Meg Ryan with City of Angels, right? And then Patrick, Lucas Gage's character, I guess is supposed to be a nod to Terminator 2. So,
okay.
So there's that, and there's a few scenes where it's like, that's exactly what you're about to get, so buckle up. So, there's this is just so much fun. It really disappointed me with how it only made $9 million. If you are out there and you like, either, horror movies, sci-fi, thrillers, twisted humor, black comedies, any of that stuff, this is exactly what this movie is, and you should be running to the theater, because to me, this is a 4 out of 5, Shane.
That's exactly what I gave it. And it's a solid 4. It ain't
solid.
Like, I'm going to bump it up to a 4. It's a solid 4.
Yeah. And it's smarter than you think. It's more fun than you think. And it's definitely a movie that is the, it could be the 1Q contender of best thing, but I have such high hopes for the monkey. We'll get there. Can't wait. Right? Can't wait. So I'm glad we're on the same page with that. So the week before was Presence, and we noted that it didn't really strike with people at the box office. But this is another kind of it's a different take. And I'm sure this movie was a very hard sell, and they had to hold this movie. This was at Sundance, not this year, but last year. So, it's a 2024 Sundance movie that made it all the way to January 2025 before its release. Steven Soderbergh is a legendary director, so I'm sure they can sell it a little bit on him. But even he has largely been dealing with small movies and or streaming movies in the last 4 or 5 years or more. Like he had Magic Mike XXL or whatever. Yep. And I think that was the only one that went to the box office before this movie in some time, if I had to remember. Because he had The Laundromat for Netflix. He had Kimmy. He had that Meryl Streep movie where they were on the cruise, her and Candice Bergen. It was like Let Them All Talk, I believe is the name of that one, or something to that nature. So, again, a lot of movies, but a lot of movies that either went straight to streaming or, were just finishing off a franchise he already was tied into. So Presence, which reunites him with David Koepp, because David Koepp, legendary writer who wrote Jurassic Park, The First Mission Impossible, Panic Room, etc., etc. Keep going. That guy is amazing. He also wrote Kimmy, and that was the first time, even though they've known each other since the late 80s, and they've been friends. I guess him and David Koepp are now, creative buddies now, all with presence here. Another movie getting good scores across the board, 6.7 IMDb, 77 Metascore, 3.1 Letterboxd. But like I said, it's only made 6.5 worldwide. But this is an interesting movie, a hard movie to probably sell to people. It's about a family that becomes convinced they are not alone after moving into their new home in the suburbs. This stars, again, not a high-profile cast either. Lucy Liu is in here, but she's not really the focal point. Kalina Lang, Chris Sullivan, Julia Fox. It's kind of like a very small movie, small cast, because it's mostly focused on the family and a few extraneous people. But this is, it's a ghost story, but done in a very almost like family drama-esque way. What did you think about Presence?
Yeah, it is a family drama movie first, thrown in with a little ghost tale sparse through it. I'll be honest with you, this is one of the few movies that I did not like the first half of this movie, because the way it was shot is shot through the POV of the presence. Yes. And that took me a while to get used to the camera angles and just following that presence around the house.
Yeah.
I can see where that's off-putting to some people who want just their standard film.
Sure.
Also, there's a lot of scenes where it just cuts abruptly. And that took me a while to get used to. It's like, go to black. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you'd follow the presence around and boom, like you're in the conversation with Chris Sullivan and Lucy Liu, then black. Then you're with the daughter and the son. So it took me a while. But as this movie progressed, man, like it was sinking me in further and further into this movie, because I like the dynamic between the parents and the siblings, because the sister's like, she has a death of a friend that like weighs heavy on her and she's kind of messed up. The mom like always shoos her off. The brother's the golden child of the family, who the mother, like Lucy Liu, like devotes her whole life to, and the father's more in the daughter's corner. So you get that divide right away. And I like the dynamic, because that's probably true in some families where, there's more connection to the sibling, the kids and the parents, like it's not all equal. So I did like that. I got hooked into the family drama of this whole thing. But man, that third act is what really nailed this movie for me. Like, that third act just set this movie. I was like, you know what? That was pretty freaking good. Yeah. Like the twist at the end with the brother and her, and then the death of the friend becomes more prominent throughout this movie. And then you get one of the brother's friends who come over, and he is like the pinnacle focal point of the movie. And it's like, wow, I just didn't see it coming. I'm like, holy shit. Well, I was like, I'll let you get into it, but I was like, holy shit. So it is a hard movie to sell the way it's shot, and you got to get used to it. And it is a very slow burn. So it's not really a horror movie. It's a mystery.
It's a mystery thriller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, almost kind of very Hitchcockian, where it's like, let's get this going until we see the twist, and then the way it's shot, we could see everything in that way from the presence's perspective.
Exactly, and I dug it. And again, this movie, the more it progressed, the more I liked it, and I felt like I liked this movie a lot too. So I won't reveal my score, but I really was impressed with this movie, the way it ended. The ending sold me on this movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a slow burn. You have to really get into and buy into, like you did, into the family drama itself and these characters, which, by the way, small cast, not like huge stars or anything, but well done with how it was constructed. And you end up rooting for the ghost, which is fun as well, where it's like, how much can the ghost kind of like insert itself, and what kind of ghost is this, and who is maybe the ghost, and all these other things that like kind of go through your head. But it's like the ghost kind of acts like a pervy Roomba, like in a way where it's like, especially because I laughed every time, even though I get it, but like I laughed every time the ghost would like go around doing something, and then would almost put itself in timeout and like put it back into the closet, where I'm like, oh, do you have to go recharge? That's why I was like, are you a Roomba? But those kind of things were funny, but I loved the kind of behind the scenes and inventiveness. This is what Soderbergh has been kind of doing ever since, High Flying Bird and some of these other movies that where he started shooting, where he's like, I got an iPhone taped to the ceiling, and I got this, and he's like very techie, he's so much trying to like push things forward, see how cheap and nimble he could be, like I said, very tech savvy. He's very forward in his thinking, and I think this is just the perfect combination of the inventive writing of David Koepp and matching it with where Soderbergh is in his career. And I had a good time too. It's a slow burn, and it definitely is effective. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. I didn't enjoy it as much as Companion, because I think Companion is just a more fun, more dynamic kind of thing, and really fits my personality, quite frankly. But right. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I'd probably give it a 3.5.
Hey, buddy, we're on the same page tonight. I also gave it a 3.5.
Yeah, it's solid. It's solid. Yeah. It's well done. And the beauty of it, if this is what dumpuary means, or if what this is, like you were saying, if it means I get to watch a 90 to 100 minute movie and be out, God bless America. That is some amazing stuff. Like, we're back in business, because I think that's what we're going to be doing most of, like, even for February for fucking Captain. That's like the first Marvel movie under 2 hours in forever.
Yeah. Well, the same way, Companion was like an hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah.
The Damned was an hour and a half. This is an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And think about it. Like, we gave, of the movies we saw in the theater for Dumpuary, our lowest score is a 3.5.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
I mean, I can't remember the last time we've done that.
Yeah. For stuff in the theaters, we've been batting pretty well.
Yeah.
And even still, like, all right, maybe not. I gave Dogman a 2.5, I think. So, all right.
It's a kid's movie that can be forgiven.
Yeah,
we could.
Listen, I am a giant Captain Underpants fan, sir, and it's the same writer, same everything. I had high expectations, but yeah, Dogman it made me laugh at times, but it is so messy that I'm just like, even my daughter's like, like falling asleep. It's like, okay, all right, I guess it's not as good as I hoped, but yeah, definitely January and now into early February, we are doing damn well. So I am happy to see that. And even like for going through, and I'll burn through this quickly, but for Sundance, I watched 6 movies as I noted, which I ended up seeing. I watched Atropia, which ended up winning the U.S. Grand Jury Prize Dramatic, but for a 104-minute movie, because Sundance is good at that, I gave that 2.5 stars. Like, Sundance was a little disappointing. I basically had one movie in particular that seems to be across the board, because it's another one that, quote, won awards. Twinless, which I think you should put on your watch list. I think you'll enjoy Twinless, though there are a couple scenes that you're going to be like, why did you make me watch this movie? Especially knowing you. But this one won the audience award for U.S. Dramatic, with our boy Dylan O'Brien winning the acting award. Oh. So, and this movie is 2 young men meet in a twin bereavement support group and for an unlikely bromance. So basically, and again, twisty. It's not what you say. Like, you think it's probably going to be some drama, because again, it's about loss and bereavement. Like, that these 2 guys, I'm going to put this in air quotes, lost their twin, ended up meeting in a twin bereavement support group. So you think it's going to be sad, but it's actually quite fun, quite twisty, a little dark comedy. And it's, and Dylan O'Brien is very good. So is James Sweeney, who also wrote and directed it. Lauren Graham plays Dylan O'Brien's mother. And so a little Gilmore Girls action, a little, I said to somebody, I'm like, I think I haven't seen her in a movie since Bad Santa.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Have you seen Lauren Graham in a movie in between?
Nope.
So I'm like, I don't know if I have. But again, very well done. Just James Sweeney, writing and directing and kind of starring-ish in this movie. Very impressive. So that one I would tell people to check out. I don't know if that has distribution or a date yet, but I think given its reception, it should have something come out of that. But largely, there's just, a lot of like meh. I am proud to say Ricky, This movie was set in Hartford and written by a guy who went to Central Connecticut State and is from the area. So I was like very proud that a person from the area not only got a movie into Sundance, but I gave it a 3. It was a good movie. He got a directing award from Sundance. So, something to check out there if you are listening to this and you're from Connecticut, you want to do a little support, watch out to see if Rashad Frett's movie Ricky ends up anywhere, because again, don't think that has distribution as of yet. But yeah, again, largely disappointed. There was a movie, Shane, and I want to put this out there because, again, a movie that I don't know who is going to pick it up or when it's going to come out. There's this movie Omaha, okay? It's 83 minutes long, and it stars John Magaro, who I really like. Are you like John Magaro?
No.
You know who that is?
I'm drawing a blank on who that is.
So he was in The Big Short, Past Lives. God, I'm trying to think. He was in Orange is the New Black. He's in Umbrella Academy. Like, he's a lot. If you saw it, he's his character actor.
Yes. Okay. I know who you're
Smaller guy, kind of almost like Italianish accent. But definitely what a solid character actor. Love that guy. This movie is about, and I'm not going to tell you, but I am going to tell you in the same way, like, you looked people in the face with Speak No Evil, the original, and was like, don't watch this movie if you're a parent. This movie, don't watch if you're a parent. And I'm not even like flinching, like being like, oh, but it's really good, like maybe you'll go. No, don't watch this if you're a parent. I gave it a fucking 2.5 because it's one of those movies that I'm like, why did you make me do this to myself and feel these things and get through this? And it has no redemption, no payoff. It is just parade of sadness that will make you want to fucking, stab yourself in the stomach and just end it all after watching it. It is harsh. So beware of Omaha. But yeah, there's just it was a weird time. Bubble and Squeak. Like, is there more of a Sundance thing than a movie about people smuggling cabbages into a nation where cabbages are banned? But it had Sarah Goldberg from Barry as like the lead practically in this, and I was like, yeah, fine, I'll do it. No, 2.5. I had some laughs, but they're incomprehensible. It's like it doesn't make any sense. You're constantly just like, what am I watching? But then there'll be like a few laughs where you're like, I can't be mad at you. So it's one of those. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, Sundance was kind of a flake. I was hoping for, because how many times when we did the draft, it was like, oh, that came out of Sundance last year. It came out of Sundance. So I was like pumped. So either one of two things is the occurrence here. I watched only the ones available online. So maybe the quality of the ones they gave us online is less. Right. So maybe there are a few movies that are great. Like Netflix picked up a movie with Joel Edgerton, Train Dreams. Maybe that's the movie. Maybe that's the one. It's like, all right, kick ass. Fucking Sundance did it again. But, woof. Tough sledding for the 6 that I saw. But did you want to, I don't know where we want to go for, like, because the only other movie that we both caught was You're Cordially Invited, Amazon Prime, doing it again, where Will Ferrell, Reese Witherspoon, and a host of other people that I like, a pretty deep cast, and Nick Stoller made this movie. Nick Stoller, who, forgetting Sarah Marshall, is where he kind of started because he also, I believe he also directed The Muppets, because I know he's kind of like tied to Jason Segel early in his career and has written and directed a bunch of very good comedies. I had a little bit of expectations as I kept reading through this, and I don't know what to do with it. It is it's fun at times. There are some moments, but it's really kind of just, it's forced is the word that I would say, especially because it feels long, even though I don't think it's that long, but I think it's almost 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's almost 2 hours. An hour, like in 50 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. So where did you sit with this?
But
Because this one was
you know,
a weird sit.
yeah, it was a weird sit. And one, fuck you, Amazon Prime. Like, we just praised we just praised them last week or 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Underdog, or the Jennifer Lopez movie,
Unstoppable?
right? Unstoppable, sorry.
Yeah.
What a great movie that was. Yeah, maybe the Ricky Stickies are in their past. And then this movie comes along, and it's like, in off mic, we're talking about The Brutalist and how that movie was like 4 hours, but you had a great time. It didn't seem like 4 hours.
Right.
This movie seemed like it was 5 hours long. Like, I'm like, can we just wrap this movie up? Like,
Yeah.
like you said, it felt forced. It felt weird. It's like the F-bombs were cringeworthy because they felt so out of place, like for no reason. Like, Will Ferrell's just dropping 10 F-bombs. And
honestly, my favorite thing, so I don't care.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, the alligator scene was just weird and out
so
of context.
weird, especially that late in the movie. I was like, "This is what we're doing." Yeah.
The funniest, the person that gave me the most laughs was Leanna Morgan playing Gwyneth. I think it was her cousin or her sister.
Yeah.
She kept wanting to climb Will Ferrell like a big redwood.
Yeah.
She had the funniest lines in the movie. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
And it's a good, like you said, it's a good cast. You have your Meredith Hagner, who you were just watching Bad Monkey.
Yep.
Jimmy Tatro, who I generally like. And this movie was just all over the place,
dude,
man. So, like,
comedy people up the ass, like Rory Scovel, who I absolutely love, Fortune Feimster, another comedian, who she did the boat scene, Jack McBrayer from 30 Rock, the cameos of Peyton Manning, Wyatt Russell, Bobby Moynihan, there's a lot of good people here.
There is.
As I mentioned, Nick Stoller, like, even as of recently, Bros, Neighbors, like, the guy makes good movies, and I was
this
just like,
time.
No, it was so messy.
Yeah, it couldn't land on what it exactly wanted to be. And like you said, the whole movie felt forced. Like, Reese Witherspoon, I'm sorry, they didn't have chemistry together. I just thought it was off from the start. And I ended up giving it a 2. And that's being gracious with that.
Yeah, I give it a 2.5. But again, like, it just, mostly because there were just a few moments that I was like, this is great. And like seeing people I like. But outside of that, like, there's... like I said, I thought this movie was closer to 2 hours. It's 109 minutes, but that should tell you everything. This movie ended like 72 times.
Yes.
Every few minutes, there was some new wrinkle, some new way for it to end. And the one thing that, while I was watching this, oh, well, at least this movie doesn't need to be romantic. And then it tries to be so late.
Yep.
And it doesn't work for me because
Not
it doesn't operate that way forever.
It doesn't build it to that moment.
No.
There's no, they don't hint at it throughout the movie. It's like thrown in the last 5 minutes. I'm like, really? Okay.
And then to do extra and extra and extra with like the Thanksgiving photo and all the other stuff, like, it's just way too much. It needed to be a lot more focused and about 20 minutes shorter. And even then, you're only probably getting this up to a 3 because it didn't know what the hell it wanted to be.
Yeah.
It just wanted to be explosive. It wanted to be, I don't know, almost, I guess, maybe, I don't want to say neighborish, but like almost where it's like you're fighting over one small thing that gets bigger. And that's a common plot device. Right. But this one, it didn't work.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you're back to our shit list, I guess, of sorts. I don't know what they have. I haven't really seen, and that's the thing with streaming. We've mentioned it before, where it's like Netflix as like their roster, and then everybody else. It's like, I don't know. Paramount will throw a couple movies. Prime will throw a few movies, and Peacock will throw one every now and then. It's like everybody kind of just retreated and just went back to, if you're a major studio, your Paramount, your Universal with Peacock or whatever, they're going to make movies in the theaters and then just drum it up. Like Netflix is still holding strong where they're just like, we're not going to do that. Not really. And yeah, So now they're largely the like 80% of the streaming movie market now. It feels like.
Yep.
Outside of your like Hallmark movies or like your Christmas movies, that's like a whole other industry. But like just straight up, this is a streaming movie with stars ready for you on an app. Netflix is the only game in town.
Yep. Thankfully, we got Reacher coming out for Amazon Prime. So thank you, Amazon Prime, for at least having good shows out there.
Yeah. Do you know the release date on that offhand?
It's like the 20th or something like that.
Of this month?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So a couple weeks, buddy.
That'll be power pack because I think that means we'll be like Captain America and Reacher and whatever. So it'll be kind of like, flexing our manliness.
Testosterone,
yeah, exactly. Doing roids again and just trying to get back into that beach body. Just pure testosterone. But I don't know if you want to talk anything else. Like I said, I saw The Brutalist in September 5 because I'm slowly trying to up my game when it comes to the Oscar films and all that. Did we talk about Oscar nominations at all?
We did not, because they came out the weekend I saw Presents, or like a couple days before that. So we did not get a chance to dive into that, which I looked at it again because I'm not as big into as you are, but
Sure.
I looked at it, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, okay. So people who I thought, like we discussed before, should have been nominated, like no Nosferatu, like nothing from there. And I'm like, okay, all right. So,
well, nothing in the acting categories, but I am
Correct.
happy that Nosferatu got like 4 nominations because it got like all the below the line stuff.
right.
Would I have liked something a little bit more? Absolutely. And does it deserve it compared to like some of the people who got in? Absolutely. But this seems to be a theme because even though Dune Part 2 is probably the highest rated movie on Letterboxd of all the Best Picture nominations, most people think it's like 10th out of 10 of like
Which is ridiculous.
Of a chance to win. And it's like it has a 4.4. 4.4. Who are these detractors? What are we talking about? So, yeah, 4.4 on Letterboxd, but it's fine. Get out of here. So stupid.
Yeah, they won't come close. And that's the shame of it. It's like, it reminds me of like, I hate for you people listening to bring this to sports, but it's like when you see an obvious MVP all year, like, you know what?
Right.
He's going to get MVP.
Yeah.
Oh, but the detractors say, you know what? It was so obvious. We can't give it to him. We're going to give it to this person who like also may have earned it, but not really.
Yeah. It's like, people who got bored with voting Jordan for MVP in the Jordan era. Like, let's give it to Barkley. Oh, wait, he got trounced by Jordan in the playoffs. Whoops.
Yep.
My bad. So that I just hate that. I hate that challengers got blanked, especially when Reznor and Ross won the Golden Globe for best score and then didn't get in score. That's psychotic. So I don't know what the hell happened there. But I did see The Brutalist, all 3 hours and 40 minutes of it, complete with intermission, which by the way, I wasn't hating. Got up, went to the bathroom, got some nachos and a tea, and I was like, all right, let's rock and roll. Let's get to the end of this. I ended up giving that 4 out of 5.
Do you think I would like The Brutalist?
Ooh. I think you would like aspects of it. I would. Okay. I don't know if because again, this is a movie that the people who love it think it's like this sweeping epic, big scope, great immigrant story. Well, great. I mean, it's bleak. So maybe not the strongest one to sell your average person. Beyond the fact that it's 215 minutes long, but the scope and the cinematography, Brody's great, Guy Pearce is excellent, and it makes you just go, God damn, where the fuck has Guy Pearce been? It really does that for you. But I will say, people who say the first half of the movie before the intermission is the absolute best part is true. The second half is because that's when things just slowly just get like knocked down, and it goes to an extreme in spots that I think isn't going to sit well with certain people, or maybe think that it went too far, or that it's too bleak. But, and I can buy into all those, but I think it didn't knock down the experience of the movie enough for me to be like, get out of here. I still have it in my I have it now in my top 10 of the year.
Okay.
So it's not in that elite class of like all those great movies that we liked at the top. But it'll be in the mix for, like if I was a voter and they do that ranked choice voting thing and I vote Dune Part 2 my number 1, then how ranked choice works, like where if it's like if you voted for it but that one goes out, they take your second one and then gives the vote to that.
Yep.
So in those, it would probably go Dune 2, Honora, Brutalist, Amelia Perez, and Complete Unknown, probably like as like the 5.
Okay.
But again, I haven't seen everything. Still working on it. As far as like, I still haven't seen I'm Still Here and Nickel Boys. Otherwise, I think I've seen the other 8, if I'm remembering correctly. And The Substance would be after that and everything else, because there's a bunch of other good movies in our king of 3.5 out of 5s, everywhere.
Right.
So it's all like kind of in that, like they're all close to each other kind of a thing. But yeah, so we'll see. I don't know if the average, who do you think the average person who likes Dune 2 would probably go next? Because I was called to the carpet by Mike and Oscar, our friends, the brother podcast for us. But like, yeah, they were like, if you really like Dune 2, what would probably be your number 2? And in my case, it's Honora, but I don't think that's probably common. I think it's more people like The Substance.
Yeah.
Or A Complete Unknown if you're...
I was going to say Complete Unknown, probably.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking it's whatever the bro core is after Dune. Because, for how much Dune is this... I should be liked by anyone regardless, but obviously it is a little specific. It's a little more dude-centric, and it's a little more sci-fi geek blah blah blah, like it's a little more pointed, hence why maybe it's struggling at the Oscars. But I think again, it's whatever the next guy, a little testosterone sandworm riding douche like ourselves, right. Would go to next, and I think that's probably where that's sitting.
Yeah, it would be The Substance or Complete Unknown. You're right.
Yeah, I think so. All right, excellent, man. Good stuff. As we've noted, next week, Heart Eyes continues the horror.
Yeah, man.
Man. Yeah. And then I got to cover Kinda Pregnant, the new Amy Schumer movie for Netflix. So there will be a streaming option for you all out there.
I am also going to go see Love Hurts this weekend. Yeah. New Jackie Chan vehicle. No, it's not Jackie Chan, but I feel like
it feels like it.
It is like he's losing his parts now too. Yeah.
Yeah. Ke-Huy Quan is
taking all the Jackie Chan parts now.
Yeah.
So a double feature, Hard Eyes and Love Hurts, man.
Yeah. God. I don't know if I'm going to be bored enough to go see that. I don't know.
Marshawn Lynch doesn't pique your interest in a movie?
Well, listen, does he get a pass for Bottoms with our distaste for Bottoms? Because that's where he broke out.
Yeah.
So was he good at that, though? Yeah, he was kind of fun. But, like, it's a bad association. Like, is he going to be 0 for 2 in movies but 2 for 2 in performances? That's probably likely. Yeah. But, man, yeah, I can't get there.
Can't get there, huh?
But who knows? Like I said, I might be bored enough. It's also Super Bowl Sunday coming up, dude. Like we got things we could do.
Yeah, we got things we can do.
Yeah. So gonna be a busy weekend. We're gonna check out as much as we can, but those will be the highlights for sure coming back. Where are you with like Severance is still week to week, so you got to probably
Severance
another
is still week to week
month with that probably.
Got another probably 6 weeks or so. Yeah, 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, so not a lot in TV land.
Not right now. Like we discussed, that's why this weekend I was finding a hard time to find stuff because I'm caught up on everything. There's nothing new dropping. So Severance is every Friday. That'll lead me over to Reacher. So, and then hopefully we get this train rolling, baby.
Yeah, and I'm rewatching Daredevil because I'm trying to get ready for Born Again. So, yeah, which that's end of March?
March 4th, buddy.
March 4th, so early March. Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's even better. So, yeah, hopefully I'll be ready in time because that's a good rewatch. Not going to lie.
It's a great rewatch, man. My girlfriend just finished it, and I jumped in with her, and I was like, God damn, I forgot. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, like,
it's so good.
You remember, like, a lot of the violence, but I'm now invigorated by a lot of the characters that I just forgot. Like, literally, I was like, oh, right, Rosario Dawson's in this show. Just like, boop, just fell out of my head. Because it's been what? Like, when did those shows come out?
9 years ago?
Yeah. It's been a while. And especially because, Punisher came after that and everything else. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll never speak of Iron Fist.
And you just did. So,
damn
there
it.
you go.
All right. That's my fault. But, with all that said, I will probably end up seeing Love Hurts because I'll be bored to tears. That's what that meant. But good job by you as always, man. Like everybody out there, we have so much stuff as we've highlighted between our most anticipated movies, the 2025 episode, or this episode highlighting what's coming up next for us in this month of February. Be sure to subscribe. Hang tight, tell a friend, join the conversation at Recent Act Pod on the socials, and be sure to come back next week for more recent activity.